Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. So today I want to talk to you all about those positive declarations. I know I've talked to you in the past of how important it is for you to do that on a daily basis. But I think for some people, they do it in the morning and they feel that they don't have to revisit those positive declarations again until the next morning. The reality is there's no limits on how many times that you can remind yourself about something positive about yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? There is no limits. There is no set time. There is nothing that says that you only can tell yourself that you are anointed at 8 o'clock in the morning. If you got to tell yourself that you're anointed 17 times a day, that is completely fine. If that's what you have to do in order for you to believe that, in order for you to act anointed, then that's what it is that you do. Another thing I want to tell you is that, listen, when you out here and you're making these positive declarations, the enemy is mad. They become busy. And so their goal is to try to attack you at every angle that it is. But what you have to understand is that those positive declarations that you're making, the reason why you're making them is because you have accepted what God has said about you. When you accept what God has said about you and you carry it and you give birth to it and you act accordingly, it literally bothers other people that have not yet to accept what God has said about them. It's not that you're better than them. It's not that they're less than you. It's that they just haven't given birth to what it is that they're supposed to give birth to, their purpose. They haven't given birth to it. And so because they haven't given birth to it, because they're not committed to the process, unfortunately, they want to bother everybody else that has given birth, other people that is committed to the process. What I want you to do is listen, is that when you wake up in the morning, of course, you want to give thanks. But you also want to make that positive declaration. When those attacks start coming, you don't want to respond back by acting like what they want you to act like. You want to respond back by reminding yourself on who he says you is and what he has declared for your life. Not what they are saying, not what their attacks is trying to generate. You don't want to generate that. You want to generate positivity. You want to generate that you are the head and not the tail. You want to generate that you will lend and not borrow. You want to generate that you was wonderfully and marvelously made. You want to generate that you will be healed and you're not sick. You want to generate that you will be happy and not depressed. You want to generate that, you know what I'm saying, that you will be successful. Listen, you have to make those type of declarations, but you got to make them throughout the day. I've talked to some people that says, you know what, last year I said this about myself and then I just started trying to work towards it. But they said it about themselves last year, but then they didn't go back and revisit it. They said it in September 2019, and now here it is, we in July 2020, and they haven't said it to themselves again, and they're wondering why things are happening the way it is. It's happening the way it is because that's not something that you do just some of the time. That's something that you do all the time. When things are going good in your life, you be positive. When things are going bad in your life, you be positive. When you're unsure, you be positive. You got to remain focus and trust in his process in its entirety. And that means that in every aspect in your life, you need him. That means that in every aspect in your life, you got to continue to work towards what it is that he has promised you. That means that you got to continue to do when others don't believe. Listen, some of you are on a mission to be great. Some of you are on a mission to do something that you've never done before. And guess what? Everybody around you don't believe it. Everybody around you don't understand it. So because of that, they ain't supporting you. And you allowing their lack of support to stop you. I want you to get off of that. I want you to let go of that. And I want every time it is that something negative pops up in your head, I want you to replace it with something positive. And I want you to literally work towards that positive declaration. And that's it. Nothing else. Anything that doesn't equal to it, let it go. Okay, guys, as you know, remember, positive declarations ain't just one time a day, ain't just once a year, ain't once a month. It's however many times that you got to say it to yourself out loud so you can believe it and so you can act accordingly. Until next time, Inspired by Shell.